We are live from a windy Bobby Cox Field at Ford Park in Shawnee, Oklahoma for Game 1 of this Great American Conference Series between Oklahoma Baptist and East Central. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Clayton Coffin with you here on the Bison Sports Network, filling in for our beloved Todd Miller, who's out in Tulsa tonight at the Toto concert. Our great man Todd Miller and his wife Mary Margaret taking a quick trip over to Tulsa for a fun concert featuring Toto this evening. Glad to be filling in for him on this windy night. As we just mentioned, folks, it's been gusting up to 40 miles an hour these last few hours here in Shawnee. It's supposed to dip down into the mid-20s, but still, that is going to play a factor tonight as the Bison and the Tigers square off here at Bobby Cox Field. OBU 15-14 on the year, 8-10 in Great American Conference play. As for ECU, under the direction of Coach Sonny Galloway, they're 6-25, 1-17 in GAC play. Their lone GAC win a week ago at Henderson State, an upset victory right there, 4-1, before Henderson came back and put up 27 runs the next two contests against the Tigers. And you see those big run totals. The Bison are well in their capability to do that tonight against ECU. Last year in 4 games, OBU scored 83 runs against ECU. Earlier this season, the two teams met down in Ada on March 14th, with the OBU winning 8-3 in that one. Cade Self 3 for 4 in that game with 2 RBI. Jose Parga was also 2 for 4, and Dan Pruitt 1 for 5 with a home run and 2 runs driven in. On the pitching front, Nolan Fiesel got the win, going 5 innings pitched. Gave up 2 hits, only 1 earned run, and he induced 12 combined groundouts and flyouts. As we mentioned, ECU 6-25, and they're playing for pride, folks. A month to go in the regular season, and OBU, obviously a good chance to come away with 3 wins should they play well. Looking at the GAC standings as we have a month to go before the top 8 seeds start the GAC postseason. Arkansas Tech in first at 15-3. Southern Arkansas is a game back of ATU at 14-4. Ouachita is 13-5. That's a series coming up in 2 weeks for the Bison on the road. After that, in 5th place, you've got Harding. Or check that, in 4th place, you got Harding at 11-7. Then tied for 5th, Henderson State and Arkansas Monticello at 10-8 apiece. And then the 7 and 8 spots right now, OBU and SWOSU, those teams are 8-10 in GAC play. We'll see if OBU can get some movement and bolster their chances with 4 weeks to go until postseason action. We're going to take a quick timeout. I had a chance to catch up with Bison head baseball coach Chris Cox just a couple hours ago as his team gets ready for this ECU matchup. A matchup that OBU has won 23 consecutive times coming into the night. We'll get to that interview now and continue with the pregame here at Bobby Cox Field. We're getting ready for Bison baseball against East Central on this Friday night at Bobby Cox Field. Coach KJ Reed texted me when we hit 2 grand slams the other day at Southeastern and said, "Are we on the upswing on the offensive end?" That's my first question to you. I think these last 4 games down at Southern Arkansas, the 2 days ago at Southeastern, we've seen 4 straight games of really good offensive ball. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think we've definitely made some good strides there. We kind of talked after that Monticello series. I felt we really got away from who we are. And, starting down there in Magnolia, like you said, I thought we put together really good ABs against the club that can really pitch it. And, kind of got back to doing us and dictating counts and, not making weak contact early and not compromising early. So, it's definitely something to build on. The biggest deal for us is moving forward. It's just got to be consistency. And whether it's on the offensive side, the defensive side, or pitching, this stretch run here coming up this last month and a half, consistency, that's the key word.
Troy Shields the other day, 2 home runs in 1 inning at Southeastern, and he's a guy that's filled in that designated hitter spot a good amount. And for Troy, he got 2 of our 6 home runs, and I thought that really sparked us the other day down in Durant.
Yeah, Troy had a good day. We missed him down there in Magnolia. Been out injured a little bit. We got to get him a couple pinch hits, but really couldn't run. So really didn't get to be a big part of that series. But Troy's made some good adjustments going back to the fall and had a really good spring. Hopefully we can keep him healthy and he can have a good stretch run here.
Like you said, we got about a month or so before that, or 5 weeks, in fact, before that GAC, that best 2 of 3 series to get us to that, hopefully that Arvis ballpark in Arkansas. Where do you see the team at right now heading into this, really the start of April against East Central?
That's getting back to that word consistency. And, I told the guys down in Magnolia, that that weekend could be a turning point. I felt, we walked out of there obviously with 3 losses, but I felt more so than any that we played like a team that weekend. We faced a lot of adversity and answered back time after time. It's just going to come down to, like I said, it's time for us to put it together in all 3 phases and go on a good run here to try to make a bid to get to the tournament and beyond.
Yes, sir. Speaking of getting into the rhythm, how hard is it when we have about 40-mile-an-hour winds going on right now here in Shawnee to get into a rhythm for Game 1 tonight?
It's Oklahoma. Just wait a couple hours. The weather will probably change. But, no, it's windy out here. But, hey, we practice on days like these. We know that days like this are going to be a part of what we do. And both sides have to deal with it. And so, it's just part of it. Just go out there and play, baby.
Couple more thoughts for you, Coach. We know that East Central has had their struggles in our conference, and how important is it for us to get off to a good start, get some bats swinging hard, and get runners on base, and put pressure on the visitors?
Well, that's just like we talk about with the guys, and I felt like there before Magnolia, especially, we become a little bit of our own worst enemy. We talk to the guys about the enemy being in your own dugout and the self-infliction that we do, whether it be offensively or defensively on any side of it. We cause a lot of our own problems. So, today nothing changes. It's got to carry over from what we've seen here recently and make good strides. And in no means do we want to be a finished product, and we want to be playing our best baseball here coming up.
Coach, final thought for you, as I always ask. Your starting pitcher tonight, Brett Galbraith. He's our usual Friday night guy. What do you expect to see out of Brett this evening?
I think, sharper than we have been, because, the one thing you're going to get out of Brett is consistency. He's going to go pound the zone. He's not going to self-inflict, and, that's what you need out of your Friday night guy, that's going to give you a chance every time he toes the rubber and go compete. That's the biggest word with Brett, is he competes every time he gets the ball.
Coach, thanks for your time. We'll catch up with you afterwards.
Appreciate it.
That was Bison baseball coach Chris Cox. We'll go back into the booth and get ready for first pitch here at Bobby Cox Field on this Friday night, March 31st. We want to thank head baseball coach Chris Cox for that pregame interview. The team getting the field wet with the hose, getting the infield all squared away, as you can see on your screen right now. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back, look at the series between OBU and ECU. As most know, the Bison have had their way against the Tigers. We'll take a quick 1-minute timeout and come back right after this. Back here at Bobby Cox Field at Ford Park, Clayton Kaufman with you. Brandon Spencer producing. We'll have Brandon, one of our fine student workers. He'll go down post-game and first talk with Coach Cox, and if the Bison win, we'll get a player interview as well. But we'll be with you here on the video stream for the next couple of hours in Shawnee. All right, so we mentioned the series history. OBU, 35 wins, 4 losses, 2 ties. Remarkably, they've never lost in Ada. 16-0 after that March 14th win by an 8-3 tally. Closest margin victory was last year, in fact, 13-12 Bison win on March 12th, 2022. In that game, we had 4 RBIs apiece for Isaiah Lasad and Cade Self. Also, Cade had 2 homers, Isaiah had 1, and Brandon Brewer had another. Folks, as we mentioned, the Bison bats this week have been very good these last 4 games, and there's no reason to believe that won't continue tonight. We've got Sonny Galloway and Chris Cox meeting with the umpires for tonight's affair. We'll let them break, and then we'll get into the starting lineups as this game 1 of the 3-game series about to take part on just a really windy night as we close out the month of March. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and pull this up on the weather radar, folks, because it was howling as high as I've seen it in my time here in Shawnee. Right now it's 70. And let's take a look here. About 34 mile-an-hour winds right now, but again, that obviously is going to be blustery all throughout, going up and down. We'll see. We saw Dan Pruitt at bat in the warm-up early on. Looked like it would be a typical fly ball out to right center, and it just went, folks. We might see some fireworks tonight. That's for sure. But it is a wind aside, just a perfect day in Shawnee. Shorts on in the office, and obviously we're getting close to summer, and very excited about that. Coach Cox pointing things out to the umps, and let's go ahead and we'll throw up the starting lineups first for East Central. And we'll get that to you as that pops into play right now. Okay, leading off in left field, you're going to have number 6, Cooper Hunt. After that, in the 2-hole, the second baseman, number 7, Nick Blankenship. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 10, Tanner Collins. Batting fourth at first base, number 27, Christian Whitaker. The catcher today and batting fifth is number 11, Duncan Key. In center field, number 25, DeWerlin Amancio. After Amancio, in right field, number 22, Nolan Herchok, ECU's best batter. Batting eighth at third base, number 5, Michael Rosario. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 18, Mason Glowacki. Brian Terry is your pitcher tonight. He's 1-7 this season on the mound. We'll go flip it over to the Bison now. Leading off, usually, and it continues tonight, number 1, Isaiah Lasad. The junior will be in center. Trey, he's at third base. Following Trey, you'll have the designated hitter, number 33, Troy Shields. Batting eighth at short, number 16, Jose Parga. And batting ninth in left field, number 2, Austin Gonzalez. Pitching for the Bison, as you heard in the pregame, it's Brett Galbraith, a junior that wears the number 15 jersey. This will be his 9th appearance. He's got a 5.21 ERA, 3-4 record. 46.2 innings pitched. That's a top 10 ranking in the GAC, and as you would expect, he's the usual Friday night guy. He's got 30 strikeouts to 11 walks. Opponents are batting .276. We'll keep it right here as we get our intro video going. If Folks, if you have Instagram, go follow obu.baseball. A lot of good content weekly. I want to thank KJ Reed, our creative director. A lot of cool stuff out there, including our intro video that Justin Hull, he used to work at OBU. He's a contract guy. He's an outstanding videographer. Go check our obu.baseball Instagram. A lot of good stuff out there. We'll turn the outdoor mic on as our public address announcer gets our starting lineup, and then we'll get the national anthem in just a second, folks. Keep it right here.
Schaefer. Batting third at first base, a senior from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, number 28, Dan Pruitt. Batting fourth at right field, a senior from Shawnee, Oklahoma, number 20, Cade Self. Batting fifth at catcher, a junior from Rockland, California, number 30, Alex Schroeder. Batting sixth at third base, a junior from Folsom, California, number 7, Trey Furry. Batting seventh at designated hitter, a sophomore from El Dorado Hills, California, number 33, Troy Shields. Batting eighth at shortstop, a junior from Oxnard, California, number 16, Jose Parga. Batting ninth at left field, a sophomore from Shawnee, Oklahoma, number 2, Austin Gonzalez. And on the mound for the Bison, a junior from Joshua, Texas, number 15, Brett Galbraith. OBU is assisted by Trace Maddox, Keach Ballard, and associate head coach Cody Painter. Leading the Bison is head coach Chris Cox. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will you please stand and join us for today's invocation, and please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. We pray for everyone's safety, Lord, and yet the players will perform to the best of their abilities. In your name we pray, amen.
All right, back here at Bobby Cox Field, about to get first pitch underway. 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Hope everyone had a good week. We'll sit back and relax and hopefully have some good baseball here over the next couple of hours. There's Brett Galbraith. He'll be pitching to Alex Schroeder, our junior catcher from Rockland, California. Breck is from Joshua, Texas. And leading off tonight, he'll be up in a few moments, but it's Cooper Hunt, the left fielder. Wears the number 6 jersey. He's batting .214 this season. This will only be his second time as the leadoff this season. He's 1 for 1, so we'll see if he And we're going to have the first pitch here at 6:06. A little bit slow as we get a strike called to Hunt.
First pitch at 6:06 with a current temperature of sunny and 70 degrees. With
the wind has died down for a bit. It's heading into the northeast, folks. For a while, it was west to east as we get a pop-up there going into shallow left field. There's Jose Parga, the shortstop, and he's got it. That's a P6 into left field of Cooper Hunt. One down, and Nick Blankenship, the second baseman, coming into bat.
Blankenship.
A couple of pitches for Breck and one down as we get a pitch inside to Blankenship, 0-1. Nice location inside there from Galbraith. Blankenship batting .233 this season with 17 hits. Here's the 0-1. Outside, we're evened at 1 apiece. This will be the key for ECU. Got to hang close early as we get a ball downstairs from Galbraith. 2-1 the count. Now to Blankenship. ECU this season, as we mentioned, a 6-25 record. The first 2 innings have really been the problem as we get a curveball in for a strike, 2-2. They've been outscored 98-33 in the first 2 innings, so they're quickly falling behind. And as we mentioned in the pregame to Coach Cox, it's going to be key for the Bison to get up early as we get a grounder foul down the third base line. 2-2 remains the count for Blankenship. Galbraith this season doing a pretty good job. Not a pretty good job, a really good job when bases are empty. Opponents are batting just .226 on them as we get a swing and a miss outside. See ya. 2 up, 2 down. KS right there in the scorebook for Blankenship. And we'll have the designated hitter, Tanner Collins, now up to bat.
Now batting number 10, Tanner Collins.
Five for 23. Grounder left side picked up there by Parga. The throw to first. And that is going to be a throwing error on Parga as it bounces in front of Dan Pruitt. He was trying to pick the ball, but the throw was inaccurate. That's going to be an E6T. There's plenty of time there for Parga if the throw had been accurate.
Christian Whitaker.
That would have been 3 up and 3 down. So Collins gets the second as the ball went out of play. He's up at second base now. Christian Whitaker will step into the box. It looked like for a moment Trey Furrue is going to get it, but he may have been called off by Parga as we get a ball outside to Whitaker, 1-0. Galbraith looking back at Collins. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. And no clouds tonight here in Shawnee, as we mentioned. And just a perfect day outside of the wind. You got a fair leadoff for Tanner Collins as we get a swing and a miss. 2-1 now the count for Christian Whitaker. ECU in their orange tops and white pants. Bison in their home whites. Some pinstripes down. 2-1 pitch, and they'll call that a strike. Man, it looked like a little bit low there for Whitaker, but they'll give it the strike call. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And Galbraith a pitch away from ending this runner in scoring position threat that ECU possesses right now. There's the 2-2. That ball up into the air and fouled well away from everybody. Still a 2-2 count. And Collins, he was halfway down the second to third base line as you'll see him trotting back. I guess you got to stay aggressive. Anywho, here's the 2-2. That is going to be a liner into right center field. That's going to be a down, and that is going to score a run. It'll be a 2-out RBI double for Christian Whitaker. That's going to score Tanner Collins on the RBI. It's an unearned run, and ECU takes the lead. So that's good execution right there from Whitaker. To the box. That was just a great piece of hitting from Christian Whitaker. The 2-2 count, stayed aggressive and put it in the gap. And the pitch to Key downstairs, ball one. Duncan Key this season, decent average with runners in scoring position, 276. He's got 8 hits in this situation. No 1-0. Just missed. A little bit high there from Galbraith. 2 balls and no strikes. We're 2-0. We're 2 down. That ball rocked to left field. That ball heading back. Austin Gonzalez is going to stop running, and we've got a home run to left field and 3-0 Tigers. And all these runs are going to be unearned, but a huge home run right there by Duncan Key. That is his first home run of the year, and it's 3-0 East Central here in the top of the first.
Now batting number 25, Darwin Amancio.
Darwin Amancio, the sophomore from the Dominican Republic, will now step in. 3-0 Tigers. They've got 2 hits this inning. Both of those coming in back-to-back at bats with 2 outs. The double by Christian Whitaker, and then just that home run right there by ECU's Duncan Key. As we've got a 1-1 count now for Amancio, the center fielder. 1-1 pitch, outside corner. It's 2-1 now the count. Galbraith's next pitch, outside corner for a strike. 2-2. So the third straight batter at two balls and 2 strikes, and a little check swing goes foul left side by the Bison dugout. We're trying to get our live stats going, folks. If you're following along there, we just need to refresh some things on the computer. 2-2 still. For Amancio, he's going to ground that one right side, picked up by Jaden Schaefer. Throws to Galbraith. Did they get it in time? No. That should have been picked up by Pruitt, it appeared. Schaefer went for it. Galbraith had the hustle to first, and man. That is a bang-bang play at first base. Pruitt was drawn in, folks, on that grounder. I mean, he was close to it. He's probably thinking 3-1 ground out. Man, we might have to go back and watch that. That might be an infield hit for Amancio. That was very, very close. We got a pop-up now. That's going foul down the left field line. And then it's behind the head of Jose Parga. That is a hit into left field. So OBU defensively unraveling here in the top of the first. That ball looked like it was going to go foul, but it stayed in by about 3 feet on the left field line. That's going to be a double as it goes behind the head of Jose Parga.
Batting number 5, Michael Rosario.
Now the 8th batter up, Michael Rosario, the third baseman that wears the number 5 jersey, and ECU in great shape. All of this is happening with 2 outs after the Bison couldn't convert that ground out. Tanner Collins 4 batters ago now grounded to Parga at short, and it was not turned, and ECU is making the Bison pay since. That ball fouled off into the fence line. That's a strike there. And a 1-1 count for Rosario. Rosario this season has, when a runner is on third with 2 outs, he's driven in 4 RBI. He'll take a ball right there on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. The 2-1. Foul tip rolls right in front of us. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we've gone 11 minutes here in this first inning, top half of the first. 3-0 ECU after that Duncan Key home run. We get a called strike 3 right there, and that will do it. So, to recap, we've got 3 hits on 3 runs, 1 error, and 2 left on base for ECU. They lead 3-0. We'll be back after this.
2 errors and 2 left on base. OBUBison.com, the official website of OBU Athletics. Get all the news on your favorite Bison sports and listen to live streams on OBUBison.com.
Chain pulled tight, waiting on Saturday night, put on the smooth.
The 1-0. Inside and low. Ball 2 for Isaiah, an all-GAC first-team performer last year. He was just sensational in that leadoff spot, folks. That pitch down Main Street from Terry. 2-1. That liner, and that is going to be a hard-hit ball past the third baseman, Rosario, and that's going to turn into a hard-hit single for Isaiah Lasad. A newcomer for the Bison. He's from Tecumseh, Oklahoma. He's had a pretty solid first year, folks. Getting on base, making contact, doing a really good job. He's got a 1-0 count on him right now. He'll swing on that one as Terry gets him chasing low. 1 ball, 1 strike for Jaden Schaefer. Terry's next pitch. High and away. 2 balls and 1 strike for Jaden Schaefer this season. Batting .229 with runners on base. Could look to him, wants to improve on that, obviously, as we trying to rally back early from a 3-0 deficit. He'll take that pitch. There's a pretty good frame up right there from Duncan Key, but the home plate umpire said, it was a little bit high. 3-1 now for Jaden Schaefer, and we all know who's coming up next. Dan Pruitt, who had a grand slam the other day at Southeastern. That pitch upstairs, and here we go. So a single and a walk to start the bottom of the first for the Bison. Schaefer now on first, and Dan Pruitt is coming up to bat. He moved into 3rd place all-time in the last week in home runs. He's got 34
Dan Pruitt
in his short. On that one, grounder left side, picked up at 3rd. Heck of a play right there as we get a fielder's choice. Lasad gets to 3rd.
Now batting right fielder, number 20.
Schaefer is out 5-6 right there. Rosario with as good of a play diving as you'll see. Who swings and misses on this attempt. Lasad's at 3rd, Pruitt's at 1st. All right. 0-1 the count for Self. Pitch inside. Man, not a bad miss right there from Terry. He's from Laven, Texas. 1 ball, 1 strike. Self hitting a .486 this season with runners in scoring position. He's got a 2-1 count now as that last delivery a little bit high and inside. And the wind dying down here a bit in this bottom of the first. OBU down 3-0, but threatening. You get a foul ball there that goes right wing. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Cade. He's a senior from Shawnee. 2-2. Pruitt's on first, Lasad at 3rd. Pruitt's going. That ball swung on liner into right field, and it's going to go past the right fielder. We have a chance for a huge play right here. Lasad is going to score. Pruitt's going to score, and Cade Self is going to get in with a stand-up triple. You don't see that happen too often. A dangerous play attempted by Amancio, or check that. Herchok in right field. He was trying to make a diving catch, and the ball rolled all the way to the fence. It is a 3-2 score right now.
Now batting catcher, number 30, Allen.
And hit by pitch for Cade Self. So, or check that. That was Schroeder, excuse me. Three to 2 is your score. Bison down a run, but Trey Furry into the batter's box will try to tie this thing up as we get a strike. Couple of runs on a couple of hits. Bison down a run. The 0-1 pitch just missed from Terry, maybe a little bit low, but a good location. Brian Terry this season against right-handed batters, giving up a .338 average. That pitch inside, 2-1 to Trey. And he dinged his back. He hurt his back in last week's midweek game. That was against UCO in the pregame. And he missed the next 4, and now he's back as we get a foul ball behind him. 2-2 the count now for Trey Furry. It was made by Rosario. Now we have a ball fouled off right wing. Still 2-2 for Trey Furry. He's from Folsom, California, and done a really good job since coming here last year. 6'2", 185-pounder. Really good defensively, and as we said earlier, a fine bat. There's the 2-2. That ball up into the air and fouled off again. That ball in play, but it's going to keep sailing wide. That's going to go away from the first baseman, Christian Whitaker, who doubled back in the first inning. Still 2-2, 1 out. You got Self on third after that triple. Alex Schroeder is on first after the hit by pitch. And the Bison needing a run to tie this one. The 2-2. And another foul ball. This is a good at-bat for Trey Furry, the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Furry hitting .375 this season with runners in scoring position. What's Terry thinking here? The 2-2. Outside, and again, Key tried to frame that one up, but that was off of the plate. Full count for Trey. And a ball away from loading the bases for Troy Shields, who hit 2 home runs in the 3rd inning on Wednesday at Southeastern Oklahoma State. The 3-2. That ball foul tipped. It hit Duncan Key in the glove. We're still stuck on a 3-2 count for Trey. We're trying to get some scores throughout the evening from the Great American Conference. Early tussle between ECU and OBU here, 3-2 your score, but OBU on the verge of taking the lead as we get a ball inside. Full count walk, and here comes Troy Shields. We do have one final to announce, and I don't think I've ever seen a game quite like this. SWOSU defeats Southern Nazarene 30-22 today. Let's see. Let's look at here. Box score. First inning, they scored 7. SNU scored 8 in the first. It was 8-7 after 1 inning. Let's see. Southwestern scored 11 in the 5th, 4 in the 8th, and then 5 in the 9th. Am I count? Is that right? 7, 18, 20. Yeah, 30 runs on 26 hits, folks. That's insane. That's not good baseball either. All right, Troy Shields into the box. Bases loaded with 1 out. OBU down 3-2. Here's Terry's pitch inside. Ball 1 to Troy. And as we mentioned, Shields had those 2 homers, and he boosted his batting average to .340 just with the performance on Wednesday down in Durant. It was just above 300. He'll swing on that one, and that is a fair ball inside the third base line. Self will score, as will Schroeder. It's a 2-run double down the left field line. And OBU has taken the lead off the bat of Troy Shields, who stays hot. It's We got Jose Parga now up to bat. Shields now with 15 RBI. As we get a pitch to Jose, ball one. A 1 out, 0-1 for Parga, who had a grand slam the other day at Southeastern. And folks, you may have heard Todd Miller discuss Jose. Is that a hit by pitch? It is. It hits his elbow. And we have bases loaded again. That's a HBP in the scorebook. Austin Gonzalez, the left fielder, coming up to bat. But, folks, last year, Jose Parga played really mainly at the 9-hole. That ball swung on going into right field. It's going to drop. That'll bring in 1 run and another. Shields is going to score along with Trey Furry, and it is 6-3. So a single to right field for Austin Gonzalez, and we are back at the top of the order with Isaiah Lasad.
Now batting center fielder.
But goes down the third base line and foul in front of Rosario. So 1-2 for Isaiah Lasad. Batting .286 this season is Isaiah. And Parga and Gonzalez on base, third and first respectively. Ball inside, 2-2 the count. And what are you thinking here if you're the Bison offense? I mean, we're already through the lineup once. This could be an interesting inning. We're not out of it yet. There's one down. There's the 2-2. Inside and low. Full count. We do have some bullpen activity in the ECU dugout. We'll try to get that number to you in a little bit. Three and two for Lasad as we get a foul ball just in front of head coach Chris Cox. Still a full count. ECU this season, team ERA 10.33. Opponents are hitting .352. That's just staggering numbers right there. 3-2. Here's the pitch to Isaiah. The runner is going down and away, and we've got bases loaded again, and here comes Jaden Schaefer. Well, Lasad has reached twice in 2 at-bats here in the first inning. A walk and a single, and here comes Coach Galloway. That's it for Brian Terry. We'll take a timeout. We'll get the new pitcher to you in just a second, folks. Stay with us. All right, folks, back here we got a new pitcher. It's Bryce Crawford, number 40. He's warming up right now. This will be his 13th appearance, which is most on the team. He's got a 10.72 ERA. 0-1 record in 22.2 innings pitched. He's given up 36 runs, 27 of those are earned. Batters are hitting .377. He's got 9 strikeouts and 14 walks. We'll see what he has in store here. As we've got one out in the bottom of the first. Isaiah Lasad singled to start the inning. He came back up just a few moments ago and walked on a full count. Now we'll see what Jaden Schaefer can do. He walked in this inning as well.
Now batting second baseman, number 25, Jaden Schaefer.
All right, Jaden Schaefer into the batter's box. 0-1 the count for Jaden, who walked earlier this season. He'll swing on that one, going into the right center gap. That is going to be an RBI double in right center. That is a 2-run double to right center. So 2B RC in the scorebook. That drives in Parga and Gonzalez.
Now batting first baseman, number 28, Dan Pruitt.
That went to right center for Jaden Schaefer. The double for Jaden is his 6th of the year. Tied for the team lead with Cade Self. And now Dan Pruitt stands in. 2 more runs come across. 9-3 your score in the bottom of the first. Pitch down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Pruitt last year a .909 slugging percentage, folks. I mean, he had 24 home runs, which was top 5 in the country. That tied the OBU single season record. He'll take that pitch all along the outside quarter. Pretty close there. A good spot from Crawford. 1-1 the count now for Dan. He's from Oklahoma City. Started his career as a pitcher. Was at Dallas Baptist, transferred here, and then just had an amazing junior year last year. Was on the all-defensive team in the Great American Conference, made a couple of award lists, and then this season he got on a preseason All-America list. He's the only Bison player ever to make 3 All-America lists in a career. It's just remarkable. Here's the 1-2 pitch, up into the air and foul. And Dan battling here, 1-2 the count for Pruitt, and a 6'5", 260-pounder. Just an incredible athlete, folks. A few weeks ago, he had a foul ball down the right field line. He caught over his back. I mean, it probably should have been just a foul ball and not caught, but he made it. 1-2 pitch, high and inside, and a good eye right there from Dan. Pruitt hitting .267 this season with runners on base. Could do to improve on the runners in scoring position mark. He's hitting .205. Obviously a lot of pressure, folks. You hit 24 home runs in a season. As he looks at that one outside, you hit 24 home runs in a season like you did a year ago, and you're going to add some pressure and feel some great pressure your next season. 3-2 for Pruitt. Swing and a miss, and we'll get a second out right there. So that's a KS for Dan. That's only the second out. Well, it's the second out and first one in 1-2 in 9 at-bats. So we had a stretch of 9 straight Bison reaching. Here's Cade Self now in. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. He'll swing on that one high, heading into left center field. That ball trailing back. That ball on the way. That ball gone. Sayonara, baby. Cade Self with a two-run homer, his 8th of the year. That pushes Jaden Schaefer across. And Self now with 43 runs driven in, and it's 11-3 here in the bottom of the first. So how about this first inning? A triple and a home run for Cade Self. Goodness gracious, Cade. The Shawnee High graduate just getting after it here in the first inning. It is 11-3. 6 hits in this inning for the Bison. Here's Alex Schroeder, man. Now, the wind, it is going out, folks, into center field or left center area. That felt, he got a hold of it. I thought maybe that would have been a fly out to center, but that just kept going. Man, 0-1 to Schroeder. Did it hit him again? It did. So an interesting first inning for Cade Self and Alex Schroeder. One's got a triple and a homer. The other's been hit by pitch twice. Man.
Now batting third baseman, number 7, Trey Furry.
Well, the Bison keeping the pressure on. Obviously, it goes without saying. We're up 11-3 here in the bottom of the first inning, but everything that could happen kind of has as we get a pitch outside to Trey Furry, who walked in his previous at-bat this frame. 1-0 the count. Here's the 1-0. Oh, man, a late delayed call, and Furry shakes his head, and I can't disagree with him. That looked a little bit upstairs, too, and they give a strike to Trey. 1-1. And the first spotty call of the game. Oh, well. 1-1, and the last pitch down and away. 2-1 now the count for Furry. And if you're new to the game, as we get a hit by pitch in the left shoulder, so back-to-back hit by pitches. Schroeder to second. Furry reaches to first. Troy Shields now up to bat, and he doubled down the left field line earlier this inning.
Troy Shields.
Folks, you heard it in the pregame. When this team's offense is clicking, they can beat anybody. They beat Southern Arkansas last year in game 1 of that series. Bo Dallas was pitching, and we get a Shield swing and miss to start this at-bat, 0-1. We'll see how the Bison reply on defense. I'd imagine soon we got 2 down here in the bottom of the first, but this team's offense, folks, last year's offensive production is we get a hard liner foul by Shields, 0-2 now. It was the best offensive season I've ever seen. 112 home runs. That was a school record. And just impressive stuff. 0-2 now for Shields. Schroeder and Furry on base. He'll swing on that one. Grounder through the left side. Schroeder is going to round third and score. That is an RBI single through the left side for Troy. He's now driven in 3 this inning with a double and single. Schroeder is across home. Furry goes to second. And now Jose Parga, who was hit by pitch back in the first. He'll be back, or earlier in the first, I should say. He's back up to bat. And we've got an ECU coach running out. Timeout on the field. We'll be back. All right, Jose Parga going to keep this frame going. This has been a 42-minute first inning. Lordy. All right, 12-3 your score. That ball popped up. It's going left side. The shortstop there made a wrong gamble. Furry is going to score. It's an RBI single for Jose Parga. Mason Glowacki was going in to the second base area, and the ball went behind him. It's an RBI single for Jose.
Number 2, Austin Gonzalez.
Furry scores. We've now got 13 runs this inning on 8 hits. Boy, this score sheet is going to be an absolute mess by the end of this game, folks. I'm going to have to go print another one. Anyway, all right, Austin Gonzalez now up to bat. He singled to right field earlier. That pitch downstairs from Crawford, 1-0. Next one, that ball fouled off right side. 1-1 for Austin Gonzalez. Hitting 333 this season, Has seen some starting action in recent weeks and done a good job in left field. That pitch, a little bit low, and they call it a strike, and Gonzalez letting the home plate umpire know about it. It was right around his knees. It was a pretty close call. 1-2. The 1-2. Inside called strike 3. Okay. Well, it had to end at some point. 13 runs on 8 hits for the Bison. They lead by 10 after the first inning. You're not going to hear that too often, folks, on a commentary. We'll be back after this.
For OBU in the bottom of the first, 13 runs on 8 hits, no errors and 2 left on base. After 1 inning, OBU leads 13-3.
Well, that was probably the longest first inning we've had at this ballpark this season. I can say undoubtedly it was. That was about a, let's see, we started first pitch at 6:06, 43-minute inning. You don't see that, folks. But it did occur here, and the Bison got 13 runs on 8 hits.
Mason Glowacki.
And Mason Glowacki will lead us off here to start the second frame. ECU had 3 runs on 3 hits, highlighted by a 2-run homer by Duncan Key. Pitch from Galbraith downstairs, 1-0 for Glowacki. He's from Kelowna, British Columbia, 6-foot redshirt sophomore. Pitch downstairs from Galbraith, 1-0. We'll see if Brett can respond after giving up some multi-base hits, and we'll get a strike in there for Glowacki. 2-1. That next delivery, outside corner, a little bit high. And Breck just a little bit off to start this game. 3 balls and 1 strike to Glowacki, the shortstop. That ball, liner, that's going into left field for a base hit. That'll be the 4th hit of the game for ECU. Now that is a single to left field for Glowacki. That's his 13th hit of the season.
Now batting number 6, Cooper Hunt.
And we're back at the top of the order. Hunt up to bat. He popped out into left field to Jose Parga, our shortstop, a little while ago. As we get a bunt into the air and cleared well out of play, left side, 0-1. Hunt wearing the number 6 jersey. He's in left field this evening for the Tigers. He's from Shawnee, Oklahoma, in fact. There's the 0-1. Liner into center field. That's going to be another base hit. And back-to-back hits to start the top of the second. We've got 5 hits now for ECU, so Hunt and Glowacki with back-to-back singles. Glowacki to second. Hunt is on first. And Nick Blankenship up to bat. He struck out swinging in the first frame. Little curveball in for a strike. Nice location right there from Galbraith. His changeup and curveball are really good, folks, and his fastball is also very, very solid. 0-1. And a foul tip. 0-2 for Blankenship from Sherman, Texas. He's a junior out of Sherman High School. 5'11". In this past week, heading into this series, the Bison had some obvious big numbers. As we get a check swing right there, and it's down for a ball, 1-2. Those 4 games, folks. Obviously, we heard from Coach Cox in the pregame. The going 0-3 down at Southern Arkansas. Team ranked 11th in the country, but OBU competed there, and really, I think we may have found a groove, folks. As we get a swing right there, that is going to be a strikeout. And 1 down, so Blankenship 0-2 with a pair of Ks.
Now batting number 10, Tanner
That's
Collins.
the 3rd strikeout of the game now for Breck. And Tanner Collins up to bat. He reached on that E6 throwing error an inning ago. But as we mentioned, coming into this game, Troy Shields, Alex Schroeder, in the previous 4 games had slugging marks of 1.6 and 1.13. There's outstanding numbers right there. And as well, Jose Parga, Dan Pruitt, and Cade Self all had driven in at least 8 RBI in the previous 4 games leading into tonight. We get a ball 1 to Tanner Collins, the designated hitter from Dale, Oklahoma. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs. That ball didn't break. 2 balls, no strikes for Tanner Collins. Got Christian Whitaker on deck, but maybe OBU can turn a double play ball. With 2-0. Now 3-0 the count. There we go. Let me go back and double check the scoreboard there. 3-0 the count. Tomorrow we'll have a doubleheader starting at 1 o'clock. Todd Miller will be back on the air. We'll have full coverage as we get a 4-pitch walk. It's issued right there to Tanner Collins. So he's reached twice on the E6 and now the walk. And we've got bases loaded for East Central. Man.
Christian Whitaker.
You've got Glowacki on 3rd, Hunt on 2nd, and Collins on 1st as Associate Head Coach Cody Painter coming out to talk with Breck. We'll take a break with him. All right, that meeting with Cody Painter, Associate Head Coach, and Brett Galbraith is over with as we get a change up there called strike. on Christian Whitaker, who got that 2-out rally going an inning ago, that double that scored Tanner Collins. That got things going, and then Duncan Key followed with a 2-run bomb to left. Grounder, is that going to stay in play? No, it's not. It stays behind the first base line. 0-2. Looked like that was going to be in play, but it was not. 0-2 now. Chris Cox looking in on the sideline. We'll catch up with him post-game. Hopefully the Bison come out victorious as we get a nice block from Alex Schroeder, our really fine junior catcher from California. Gets in front of that one as that hopped in the dirt a couple feet in front of the home plate bag. 1-2 for Whitaker from Springtown, Oklahoma. There's the 1-2 from Breck. Outside corner, I don't think he came across. Nope. 2-2. We mentioned earlier, OBU softball winners again. They cracked the NFCA top 25 a couple days ago, and they go down to East Central today and win 11-2. As we get a called strike 3, man, oh man, if I'm Whitaker, I might be a little bit upset with that call. That looked a bit down and away. 4th strikeout of the night for Breck, and we've got 2 away here in the top of the 2nd.
Now batting number 11, Duncan Key.
4 strikeouts for Galbraith, 2 of those by KL. Brett came in 7th in the GAC in strikeouts looking. I think he's up to 14 now as we get a nice curveball there. 0-1 for Duncan Key, who rocked that homer to left field an inning ago as Austin Gonzalez didn't even run after it. He didn't need to. 0-1 pitch. Ooh, pretty close. Not a bad spot. I'll give it a ball, though. 1-1. Bases loaded here for Duncan Key. He's 2 for 2 this season with the bases loaded. The 1-1 pitch fouled off right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Breck a strike away from getting what we all want, a 0 on the scoreboard for the opponent. The 1-2. Uh-oh, liner into left center field. There goes Isaiah Lasad. It's going to bounce into his glove. He'll pick up and throw. That's going to be a 2-run single to center field, and the score is now 13-5. Duncan Key stays hot. Cooper Hunt and Glowacki score for ECU. Their 4th and 5th runs of the game. Duncan Key now 2 for 2 on the day with a homer and a single. He's driven in 4 RBI through 2 frames. And here's Amancio. Make sure we're saying that right. Yeah, we are. That pitch outside corner for a strike. Amancio singled back in the 1st. So we got a couple of hits, 3 hits now in the 2nd inning for ECU. We got Alex Schroeder coming out and making a defensive call to his teammates. 2 runs on 3 hits in this 2nd frame. There's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and that was not a good swing at all. Amancio didn't really hang in there long enough. It was kind of like a half check swing. Anyway, 0-2. Galbraith, for the 2nd straight batter, a strike away from ending the top half of the frame. The 0-2. Upstairs. We're going to get a throw into the center field. That is going to be an E2 throwing error. A run's going to score. No one was covering second base. Schroeder's got to hold that ball and just give the stolen base. Well, Collins gets to 3rd. Or check that. Collins scores. Duncan Key gets to 2nd. Make that 3rd, excuse me. Man, a lot of movement right there as we get a ground to right side. There's Jaden Schaefer, and they'll get Amancio with a 4-3 ground out to end the inning. Back-to-back innings with 3 runs now for ECU. They're up, or excuse me, down 13-6. Bison Bats coming up in just a moment.
For ECU, the top of the 2nd, 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error and 1 left on base. Bison fans, don't miss out on all of OBU action. Follow them at Twitter at OBU_baseball and on Instagram at OBU.baseball. Don't wait. Go follow our baseball team today.
Isaiah Lasad leading us off here in the bottom of the second. Clayton Kaufman and Brandon Spencer back with you here on the Bison Sports Network as Lasad takes a first pitch strike from Crawford. He'll swing on that one. High fly ball in the left center field. That ball on the way. That ball heading to the scoreboard, and it hits the scoreboard for a home run. Lasad sends one deep, and that is his fourth homer of the year. And the Bison go up 14-6 with that swing of the bat.
Run number 4 of the year.
And that hit our Daktronics scoreboard out in left center field. And folks, if you get a chance to come out to our ballpark, we do have some nice parts of this park, video board included. We're able to get some cool stuff up there just to add to the in-game environment. As we're gonna have a new pitcher in a second. Bryce Crawford's day is done. After that Isaiah Lasad homer, we'll take a timeout. We'll give you the new pitcher in just a second.
Now pitching number 20, Jagger Green.
All right, the new pitcher is number 20, Jagger Green. He's from Tustin, California, a transfer from Santa Ana College. All right, let's look at his line. This will be his 7th appearance. He's got a 16.20 ERA in 5 innings pitched. He's given up 9 earned runs. He has 6 strikeouts and 6 walks, and batters are hitting .350 on him. So he chases Bryce Crawford off the mound and enters after that Lasad home run. Isaiah now has reached base in all 3 at-bats, a single and walk in the first inning, and then obviously that home run just a moment ago. Now Jaden Schaefer will be due up. He walked and doubled and scored a run in the second frame. Schaefer hitting .353 this season, which is second on the team. He'll swing on that one. Popped up, shallow infield. That ball being called off by the second baseman, and there is the grab secured by Blankenship for the out. So P4 in the scorebook for Jaden Schaefer. Now Dan Pruitt coming up to bat, reached on the fielder's choice and scored a run in the first, and then he struck out swinging on a full count later in that same first inning. There's a pitch to Dan, man. That looked like a pretty good one to swing at, but he'll watch it for a strike. 0-1 for Pruitt. Pruitt hitting .313 this season when bases are empty. He'll swing on that one. Up into the air, heading into right field. That ball in play. That ball hits the fence. Oh, Lordy. Pruitt's going to turn this into a double, or make that a triple, excuse me. And that ball was, about 7 feet away from clearing for his almost 11th homer of the year. Instead, it's his second triple of the season. That ball hit the 330-foot wall, the wooden wall out in right field, about 7, 8 feet inside the foul line. And the second triple of the year for Dan brings on Cade Self. Cade Self 2 for 2 today with a triple and home run. So, I mean, the cycle is in play here for Cade as he grounds that one coming up to the shortstop. That ball gloved up. The throw to first is in time. 6-3 RBI ground out of Cade Self. Dan Pruitt is going to score the run. Cade Self now, let's see here. That's 2, 3, 4. That's 5 runs driven in, I believe. Let's check that right quick. And a pitch to Schroeder in for a strike. 15-6 is our score. And for Cade Self, 5 RBI. So, folks, he's 4 RBI away from tying the school record. 1-1 now the count for Schroeder. And last year, you may have heard it earlier, he had an 8 RBI game against this same ECU squad as we get a shot deep to left field from Schroeder. See you later, baby. 16-6, Alex Schroeder with a bomb to left field. Lord have mercy. Would like to see the exit velo on that shot. And Schroeder gets the home run. His 11th of the year, team high for the Bison, one ahead of Dan Pruitt. And coming into the weekend, he was only 2 back of a Southern Nazarene player. Forget who that was atop the leaderboard. But now Alex Schroeder goes absolutely yard. Clears that one. That's well past 390 feet somewhere in left field. Man, oh man. Now Trey Furry going to step into the batter's box. Ball upstairs, but they'll call it a strike. That was a good spot. Never mind. From Green. So it's an 0-1 pitch on the way and a foul tip. Now 0-2. Man, Alex absolutely rocked that ball. We do have 2 down here and an 0-2 count. As Furry trying to battle to keep this at bat alive. 0-2 pitch. A little bit off. Dropped by Key. Man, if he had held on to that, maybe that would have been called a strike. Regardless, 1-2 for Trey Furry, who's walked and been hit by pitch this game. That pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Trey. 6-6. 16-6 your score. The Bison had 6 home runs 2 days ago at Southeastern. They're halfway there tonight. A 2-2. And a nice at-bat right there from Trey. Knocking his head, but little change up there from Green. And he got a foul ball to keep another pitch coming. Here's the 2-2. That ball up into the air, going into foul territory down the right field line. And that ball is just outside the reach of Christian Whitaker. Man, he put his glove out, folks, just beyond the fence line, and the ball, probably was about 3 feet in front of him. That was awfully close to getting a foul ball out and ending this bottom half of the second. So far, 3 runs on 3 hits for OBU, highlighted by that Schroeder homer. Here's the 2-2. And a chopper coming up the left side, gloved up at third. The throw to first is in time. 5-3 right there, Rosario to Whitaker. And that will end the frame. Bison score again. 3 more, in fact, to make it 16-6. We'll be back.
For OBU, the ball in the second. 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and none left on base after 2 innings. OBU leads 16-6. Now batting number 22, Nolan Herchuk.
All right, Nolan Herchuk will lead us off here to start the top of the third at 16-6 Bison. OBU 13 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and we'll get a strike called there for Herchuk, who doubled back in the first inning. There's the 0-1 from Breck. Takes a hop, and it looked like Schroeder may have been dinged in the thigh right there. He kind of got up slowly. 1 ball and 1 strike. Herchuk this season as the leadoff, hitting .346. There's the 1-1. That ball going into left field. It's going to be another base hit, the 7th of the day, and second for Herchuk. He singles to left field. And just one of those nights, Breck not having his best stuff, and ECU taking advantage of him.
Number 5, Michael Rosario.
Herchuk with a double and single, and Rosario, who struck out looking back in the first, is up to bat. I mean, that there's no reason for him to run down. That was not a hit by pitch. Rosario tried to sell that to the home plate umpire, but that clearly didn't hit him. 1 ball, no strikes for ECU's third baseman. He's from Katy, Texas, a transfer from Salem University. Here's the 1-0. That ball up into the air, sky high. Jaden Schaefer trying to track it down in shallow territory, and he gets it just into his glove in shallow outfield. That's a P4 RF in the scorebook. And now Glowacki will come up to bat.
Now batting number 18, Mason.
The shortstop singled in the second inning. The Bison get it out. We'll see if OBU can get a double play here. We'll try to pull that one up. OBU's done a really good job turning double plays as we get a foul ball there from Glowacki. Yeah, double plays turned by OBU 11 this season. They've had some DPs turned in some big moments this season. 0-1 the count for Glowacki. There's Breck's pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice delivery right there. 79 miles per hour on the pitch clock. Pitch speed, excuse me. 0-2. Galbraith so far, 17 batters faced, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. We get a throw back to first base. Nothing there as Herchuk got back in time. And you remember that first inning, folks, the 3 runs that ECU scored came after that throwing error. We should have been out of the inning 3 up and 3 down, but we weren't. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Liner, left side, picked up. It takes a weird hop off of the glove of Jose Parga. Man, that was deep in the gap, folks, and that looked like a weird hop from my angle. We'll see what they call it. He was waiting, and then the ball bounced, and he had to reach high for it. It did look like a weird hop. We'll see. It looks like they're going to call it an error. Man, I'm going to have to go watch that one again. Very close, though. Hard to... Maybe it didn't, but that ball did hit his glove. Maybe he's got to come up with that play as we get a ball inside. They're going to call that an E6 at the moment. So Herchuk gets to second. Glowacki is on first. Cooper Hunt is in the batter's box. He's 1 for 2 today, a single and a pop-out. Here's the 1-0. High and inside. A plus count for Cooper Hunt, left fielder. From Shawnee, went to the Redlands Community College. 2-0 the count. Down and inside, and Galbraith showing some frustration on that one, just looking down and did not get that in where he wanted. 3-0 the count, and a ball away from loading the bases. And man, ECU just, hey, give them credit, folks. They're fighting here, down by 10. Pitch inside, it hit him, and that's going to be HBP for Hunt. He's on there. Herchuk is to third. Glowacki gets to second. And now Nick Blankenship with a prime opportunity here. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. And a good start there from Breck. There's the 0-1. Just missed. Blankenship was thinking about it, but did the wise move as the ball came in a little bit low. We are going to have some bullpen activity shortly. It looks like Garrett Kellogg-Clark is running out to the bullpen to warm up. Swing and a miss there, 1-2 for Blankenship. That ball up into the air in right field. Self is on the run. He's got it into his glove. He's going to haul that one into Dan Pruitt, and it's going to be an F9 sac fly. A run scores for ECU. That's their 7th. So Blankenship gets the F9 sac fly. Herchuk will score the team's 7th run. And we have 2 down. And Tanner Collins coming up to bat. Blankenship now with 12 runs driven in this season. And we have 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. And a 16-7 ball game. That pitch in there for a strike. And we'll have a stolen base for Cooper Hunt. That's his 6th stolen bag and 7 attempts this season. Not bad right there. We do have an 0-1 count, though, for Collins. He'll swing on that one. Foul. Nothing in 2. And we got to reset that pitch clock there as we had the foul ball. They got to... Officials get a foul ball out of play. They got to reset that. They got to tell that to the score box. 1-2 the count for Tanner Collins. Reached on an error in the first and walked in the second. That ball swung on, heading into center field. Lasad going to track it down, gets under it, and gets the 3rd out. So a run is scored by ECU. It's 16-7 on the sac fly from Nick Blankenship. We'll take a timeout. Bottom of the 3rd coming up.
For ECU, the top of the third. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spend most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I begged and pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put my Walkman on and said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. Is this what the people of Bel Air live like? This might be alright. But wait, I hear the prissy booze line on the last.
Now batting does.
All right, ECU comes back and gets
Troy Shields.
a run in the top of the third, but let's see what the Bison can do here as Troy Shields will get us going in the bottom of the third with OBU leading 16-7. Shields takes that pitch upstairs from Green, 1-0. That ball swung on, and that'll be a hit into left field for Troy. He's now singled twice with a double. 3 for 3, and Shields' percentages are going to go up. He came into the day at .340 batting average. That's going to be above .364 now, somewhere in there. Here's Jose Parga to come in. He singled and got hit by pitch in 2 previous at-bats. Pitch to Jose, a chopper and foul behind the third base bag. As Rosario chased after that one. Jose hitting the 300 this season, and he has 26 runs driven in. He had a huge day on Wednesday down at Southeastern as we get a pitch upstairs for a ball. 1-1 the count. Jose from Oxnard, California. Transfer from Oxnard College, came in last year, had a great year, and as we get a wild pitch right there, Shields is on his way to second, so he advances on the wild pitch from Green. Parga now has a 2-1 count on him. You got Austin Gonzalez in the batter's box. There's the 2-1. Oh, man, a good idea to duck right there from Jose, or that would have been a dinger off the helmet. 3-1 the count. Jose 6 for 8. Well, check that. Hitting .406 this season with runners in scoring position. That pitch down and away, and it's ball 4. Parga gets on with a walk. He's reached base all 3 at bats, and that'll bring on Austin Gonzalez. And we've got a little time called as Duncan Key going out to talk with his pitcher. We'll keep it right here. Fair amount of Bison fans in attendance tonight. Around 100 or so. Gonzalez 1 for 2 today with a single back in the first. Had that strikeout after in the second. Here's the pitch to Austin. That ball swung on up into the air, heading into right field, and Herchuk delayed on it, and it's going to be a base hit. I don't think he wanted to risk the diving catch like he did on the Cade Self triple a couple innings ago, and he played that very tamely. I thought he was going to get the out, but he didn't. Another single for Austin.
Now batting center fielder number 1.
And that'll bring on Isaiah Lasad. So the Bison already with a couple of hits here in this bottom half of the third. Shields and now Austin Gonzalez. Bases loaded for Isaiah Lasad with nobody out. Look out. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Right now, Self with 5 RBI, Schaefer and Shields with 3 each. Gonzalez has 2. And a ball right there for Isaiah Lasad. 2-0 the count. The home plate umpire talking to the ECU dugout. I mean, you're down 9 runs in the bottom of the third. Maybe you don't like the pitch zone, or strike zone, excuse me, but I just want to sit this one out. I don't know. 2-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Shields on third, Parga on second, Gonzalez on first. I mean, what's your mindset? You're going through the lineup every time. We did it in the first, and we're well on our way to doing that here in the third as we get a wild pitch. I mean, it's a ball, so it's going to be an RBI for Isaiah Lasad. Troy Shields is going to score. It didn't matter. The bases were loaded. It was a bad pitch from Green, and looks like we're going to have another pitching change. 17-7 your score after that bases loaded walk to Lasad. Shields will score. Parga to third, and Gonzalez to second. We'll have a new pitcher. We'll take a break and come back in just a second.
Now the mound, number 12, Bryce Dobby.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other until I kissed you, and then it happened. It took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too, by the look in your eyes, sweeter than wine, softer than the summer night. Everything I want, I have.
All right, coming back here, we got a new pitcher. It's going to be number 12, Bryce Dobby, a sophomore from Sulphur, Oklahoma, a transfer from Seminole State College. If I'm reading their stats right, this is his first appearance of the season. We'll see what happens, folks. We just had a bases-loaded walk to Isaiah Lasad. Jaden Schaefer will be up to bat in just a moment. We'll keep it right here as Dobby warms up.
Sweeter than wine, softer than the summer night. Everything I want, I have. Whenever I hold you tight, this magic moment, while your lips are close to mine, will last forever, forever to the end of time. Oh, magic moment, magic moment.
Now batting second baseman, number 25, Jaden Schaefer.
All right, we'll bring it back here. Jaden Schaefer now up to the batter's box, 17-7 after that RBI, bases-loaded RBI to Isaiah Lasad. And Jaden Schaefer now in the box, pitch inside, and they called it a strike. 0-1 for Jaden Schaefer, who's popped out, doubled, and walked today. Here's the 0-1. That pitch down and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was a 75-mile-an-hour pitch from Dobby. We'll just see. Here's just some of the lines, folks. We knew that the ECU pitching, that's been maybe their worst. That's their biggest struggle this season as we get a 1-1 pitch outside. 2-1 now for Schaefer. Starting pitcher Terry goes a third of an inning, 9 runs on 9 hits, or 9 runs on 4 hits, 3 walked batters. Crawford, 2/3 of an inning, 5 runs, all earned on 5 hits. Here's the pitch to Schaefer, breaks in there for a strike. 2-2 now the count. And for Jagger Green, an inning pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks, and all 3 of these all 3 of these Bison that are on base paths are responsible to Green. So we got a foul there. It's now 2-2 the count for Jaden Schaefer. He's from Tecumseh, Oklahoma. A little bit past the bottom of the hour. Thanks for creative producer there, KJ Reed, helping us out on the trying to brighten things up, folks. It feels like we're just going to be here all night long, and heaven forbid. 3-2 pitch to Schaefer up in the air and fouled off left side. Again, we'll have a doubleheader tomorrow starting at 1 o'clock. Todd Miller will be back from a Toto concert that's in Tulsa tonight, and he'll have the call here on the Bison Sports Network. Full count for Schaefer with the bases loaded. That ball swung on grounder, gloved up at first. The throw to home plate is in time. Nicely done right there. It's a fielder's choice, 1-2 on the putout of Jose Parga. And man, that's been 2 great defensive plays now at first base. That was Whitaker, and then 2 innings ago, Michael Rosario had that great grab and got an out.
Number 28, Dan Pruitt.
The bases are still loaded, but a nice play made at home from the first baseman, Christian Whitaker, getting Jose Parga out on the fielder's choice. Just a great diving catch there at first base. So 1 away here in the bottom of the third, 17-7 still your score as Pruitt steps into the box and takes a pitch upstairs, ball 1. Folks, the Bison came into this game this season with bases loaded hitting .538. That is an unbelievable mark. They're 0 for 1 today, but, when you're up 10, you can live with such things. Here's the 1-0 inside. 2 balls, no strikes for Dan. Base is still loaded. Gonzalez is at third. Lasad's at second. Schaefer at first. That pitch outside, the throw back down to third base, trying to get Gonzalez caught stealing, but not going to happen right there. 3-0 the count for Dan Pruitt. Pruitt with 27 runs driven in this season. Had a grand slam the other day down in Durant. Here's the 3-0. Pitch in there for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. Still a plus count for Dan. Folks, last year Schroeder and Pruitt, when they were going, this team's offense was just almost unstoppable. Here's the 3-1 and a foul tip. Comes off of Duncan Key's chest, it appeared. Now a full count for Pruitt. So was a 3-0 count, and now he's got an interesting pitch coming up here. Bases still loaded with 1 out. OBU up 10, 17-7. We had a classic Big Ten football game here on the gridiron, or check that on the diamond tonight. Here's the 3-2. Up into the air, high into left center field. That ball on its way. That ball hanging. That ball off of the wall. Man, oh man, that was, about 7 feet away. We got some trouble on the base pass as a run is going to come in again. It turns into a double. There was some questionable base running by Jaden Schaefer, who I think thought the center fielder, Amancio, was going to get the out. It turns into a double regardless and scores 2. It's 19-7. Pruitt drives in 2 with the double right there. That is his 6th of the season. Tied for the team lead with Cade Self as well as Troy Shields. But a nice piece of hitting. Man, folks, I thought that was gone at the moment that ball left the bat of Pruitt, but it hit the wall in left center. Regardless, OBU bumps its lead to 19-7. Its 14th hit of the game, courtesy of Dan Pruitt. And tried to track the ball from here, too. You couldn't really see it, to be honest. That's why I thought it was gone, but it hit the wall in front of the center fielder there, Amancio. 0-1 now the count for Cade Self. Pruitt now a double and a triple today. Here's the 0-1. Grounder, left side. That is in play. Takes a hop off of the third baseman's glove. That is Rosario. That is a hard play to make down the line. I would have to figure that's going to be a hit awarded to Cade Self. I think you've got to give that a hit, given the location of that ball. Self now is 3 for 4. That's a usual line for a game, and he's a double away from the cycle. We're going to call that a single down the third base line. Here's Alex Schroeder now. He's reached base all 3 plate appearances, 2 hit by pitches, and then that towering home run a while ago. I think they're going to call that a wild pitch. Do they get? Nope. Self is in safe. That's got to be a wild pitch there from Dobby. That looked like it took a hop in front of the catcher, Duncan Key. 20-7 the count. 4 runs here in the bottom of the third for OBU. So they put 13 in the first and 7 cents. Schroeder waiting. Here's the next pitch. Outside corner, called ball. 2-0 the count. Pitch outside off of the glove of Duncan Key, but no damage. But a 3-0 count now for Alex Schroeder. Trey Furry is on deck. Yeah, let's see here. Let's go into the scoring. Last year, OBU scored in the 3 games against East Central, the 3 GAC games. You get a pitch inside, a 4-pitch walk for Alex Schroeder. He's on to first. Bases are back to being loaded for Trey Furry. But last year, OBU scored, let's see here, against ECU, 24, 25, 21. So in 4 of the last 5 games, they've put up at least 21 runs. Kind of remarkable. Prior to that, they had put up 23 on a 2014 game, put up 22 on a March 12th, 2013 contest. And yeah, this is now the 6th time in program history, or dating back to the records we have, which span since 2009, the 6th time that OBU has put up at least 20 runs. Swing and a miss right there for Furry. Now 1-1 the count as he looks up into the skies in frustration right there, going after that down and away pitch. Here's the 1-1 to Trey. Upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. And folks, just not much you can say defensively. I mean, ECU is going to have to really curtail its recruiting on the defensive end to get some competitiveness on the mound. Now 3-1 the count for Trey Furry. We've got 15 hits and 20 runs. Dalby waiting for a sign. He gets it. The 3-1 upstairs. That's a bases-loaded walk to Trey Furry. Now 21-7. 2-touchdown lead for the Bison as Dan Pruitt will score. And we're going to have another pitching change. Timeout on the field. We'll be back in just a second.
Now pitching number 16, Court McCurtain.
New pitcher for ECU, it's Court McCurtain. Where's the number 16 jersey? He's from Lone Grove, Oklahoma. This will be his third appearance. In 1.2 innings pitched, he's given up 4 hits and 5 earned runs. 3 walks, no strikeouts. McCurtain will warm up, and we'll get another at-bat for the Bison coming up. We've got 5 runs on 4 hits. Furry will be up to bat. Or check that. Furry just walked, excuse me. Shields will be up to bat in just a moment.
Now batting designated hitter number 33, Troy Shields.
The Bison, after that walk, have now tied for the most runs scored for this season. They scored 21 against them against Pittsburgh State back on February 4th. So the Bison obviously are going to score more than 21 here. We have a 1-0 count for Shields. Base is still loaded. Liner into left field. Base hit for Troy. It's his third hit of the day. Self is going to score. So is Schroeder. Furry gets the third. It's a 2-run single for Mr. Shields, who's now got 5 RBI on the day. That's one off the lead provided by Cade Self, who's got 6. Shields is now 4 for 4, and he's a hit away from tying the D2 single game record for OBU. That was a 5-hit performance. We're going to have to do some digging, folks. Obviously, we're going to be looking in the record books tonight in a couple of hours to figure out all that is taking place. But Shields is now 4 for 4, 3 singles and a double with 5 runs driven in. Swing and a miss right there from Parga as the home plate umpire was checking on Duncan Key right there. I'm not sure what that was about, but... Oh, well, what do we have? 1-1 count. Excuse me. No, it is an 0-2 count. It's an 0-2 count for Parga. He looked on the first strike and then swung on the last one. That pitch up into the air, heading into shallow center field. That ball is going to drop for Jose. Another hit for Parga will score. Trey Furry. It's now 24-7. Jose now with a couple of singles in this game. Furry will score. Gonzalez now up to bat. All right, Gonzalez now into the batter's box. He's got 2 hits today and 3 at-bats. Runners on first and second. And we'll take a ball 1 for Gonzalez. It's Shields is on second, and Parga is on first. The Bison with 17 hits. That ties the season record. Single game season, we had 17 against Emporia State. As we get, I think we're going to have to call that a pass ball. That was right on line to Duncan Key. I think we'll give that a PB in the scorebook. Runners advance to second and third. 2-0 for Gonzalez.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
I'm going to go ahead and pull open the record book because we're getting close. They call it an inside strike, man. I don't know about that one. Anyway, it's one of those nights that I think the umpire, you're probably feeling for the other side. And if it's anything close, they're going to get the call. There's a 2-1 for Gonzalez. Outside corner, called strike, 2-2. The 2-2. That ball up into the air. It's going into left field, and that ball caught in left field by Hunt. It's going to be a sac fly. An RBI for Austin Gonzalez. So that's F7 SF in the scorebook. Shields is going to score. He's now got 3 runs scored today. And it's 25-7 here in the bottom of the third. 8 runs this inning, and we're back at the top of the order for Isaiah Lasad. That pitch in there for a ball. Gonzalez has 3 RBI. As a team, the Bison at 25. Take a look. We've got the record book opened up here, folks, so bear with me as we navigate this game. Little break in the action. Hang with us. We have Lasad back in the batter's box. He'll take that pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Now, strike 2. It's an 0-2 count now for Lasad. So 0-2. 0-2 the count, guys. Pitch outside. Now it's a 1-2 count for Lasad. So the Bison already at a season high RBI total. They've got, let's pull that open just to be where we're at. We're sitting at, we had 20 against Pittsburgh State on February 4th. That was at the UCO First Pitch Invitational. That ball grounded left side, picked up there at short. The throw to first. Was it on target? It was. 6-3 ground out of Isaiah Lasad to get out of this inning. The Bison get 9 runs this inning. On 6 hits and 1 left on base. 25-7. We'll be back.
3 innings. OU leads 25-7.
Keep it up, Gavin.
OBU fans, do you want the chance to support OBU student athletes from the convenience of your own mobile device? Text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014 to to support BAA student athletes. Donations are fully tax deductible, and every gift makes a difference in the OBU student athlete's life. Again, text hashtag BAA at OBU to the number 52014. For more information, log on to obubison.com.
Like the iced tea, Southern Con, never undermine. Never put your dreams undermine. We a team, anything. Heard me sing like a bunch of times. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, man, it turned into a butterfly. I like my water with lemon and lime. That's cause they're better combined. Kinda like us, you and I like my water with lemon and lime.
Now batting number 27, Christian Whitaker.
We got the umpires talking to the head coaches here. Not sure what's going on at the moment. I know Galloway is talking to both, but he's got the lineup card out. I'm not sure what this is about. We do have Christian Whitaker in the batter's box. Not sure what that was about. Maybe potential changes defensively. I don't know, but you don't usually don't do that as you're coming up to bat. Let's see. All right, Whitaker into the batter's box. He's doubled and struck out looking, and now hit by pitch, and you still have a Garrett Kellogg Clark warming up.
Number 11, Duncan Key.
Key will now step in. He's 2 for 2 today with a homer and a single. Whitaker has reached base in 2 of 3 at bats, a double in the first, and then now that hit by pitch. Boy, Schroeder was looking back down at Whitaker. I thought for a second he'd throw that ball back to Dan Pruitt, but he held off. 1-0 the count here for Duncan Key, ECU's catcher. The 1-0. Chopper high, and it's just fair. It goes down the third base line. That's going to be a double. Gonzalez is winging that one to Parga, and that is a double down the left field line for Duncan Key.
Now batting number 25, Darwin Amocio.
Amocio now up to bat after that double, and a pinch hitter. So Britton Sperry from Ardmore will step in. Number 17 will step in for DeWerlin Amocio. So this might be the straight change as we get a pitch there from Galbraith up high. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Sperry might be going to center field in the next half inning. We'll see. Pitch outside from Galbraith. That's another ball. That pitch down and away. Now 3-0 the count, and Schroeder going out to talk with Galbraith. Quick break. Britton Sperry hitting 120 this season. He's got 25 at-bats and 3 hits. We got a strike there, 3-1 to Sperry. Attended Plainview High School. He's a junior for ECU. The 3-1. Outside and away. Bases loaded with nobody out for ECU here in the 4th. And you just wonder when Coach Cox is going to make the call for Garrett Kellogg Clark, because just not Galbraith's 9, and it appears we will have another pinch hitter, Kyle Busker, a junior from Malayvin, Texas, He's coming in, so let's go ahead and write these down. Sperry came in. That ball popped up. It's an infield fly right there. I-4 on the putout. Yeah, anything along the infield when there's runners occupying at least 2 base paths, that's an infield fly rule. So Sperry came in for Amancio. And then that was Busker for Rosario. As we get a hard hit ball, that's going to be a run scored and possibly 2. Yes, Duncan Key is going to score along with Christian Whitaker. 2 runs there across now, 25-9 your score. What a wacky scoreboard tonight, folks. And we get a nice single connected right there by Busker. That's his 4th hit of the season and 2 runs driven in. His first 2 RBIs of the season, as a matter of fact. Now we're at the bottom of the order. Glowacki into the box. That one grounded right side. Picked up there by Schaefer. The throw to first in time for the out. So it's a 4-3 ground out of Glowacki for the second out. Runners advance to second and third. You got Rosario on second, Sperry on third, and now it's the top of the order, Cooper Hunt. He's got a single and a run scored back in the second. In the third, hit by pitch and a stolen base as we get a ball upstairs from Galbraith there. 1-0. That ball grounded to the left side. It's going to be a base hit through the left side. 2 more runs are going to come across, and not Galbraith's night as a throw back to first base, trying to get a little caught stealing action there. It's not going to happen, and we've got Cooper Hunt with 2 runs driven in right there with a single through the left side. Now 25-10. Rosario and Sperry score a 2-out RBI right there from Cooper Hunt. Those are his second and third 2-out RBI of the season. Throw down to second base from Schroeder, and it goes into the outfield, and that is going to move Hunt to third base. So a stolen base. It's a stolen base, and I think you still got to call that an E2 as well. The stolen base was there. The throw hit the dirt in front of Jose Parga, and it's an 0-1 count for Blankenship, who was 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. There's the 0-1. Nice pitch right there from Galbraith. Outside corner for a strike. Breck up ahead in the count, 0-2. A tough night for Breck as we get a swing and a miss. Oh, check that. It foul tipped, pardon me, off of Blankenship's bat. Still on 0-2 count as the home plate umpire going back out to get the baseball there to Breck. Is our junior pitcher, 3.2 innings pitched, 11 hits, 11 runs, 7 of those earned. Now, some days you just don't have it. That's one of those nights for Galbraith, but we knew what the offense was going to be doing. Here's the 0-2. Grounder coming up the left side, and Furry went after it, and that's... If you're going to go after it, you got to make that play, and he didn't. So I think we'll call that an E5. I would have to. I don't know. We'll let the scorekeeper call that one, but that's awfully close to an error. It's the 20. Is it 20? We'll run. How many? We got 5 here for ECU in this top half of the fourth, and like we said, the crooked scoreboard tonight, 25-12, with 28 hits. Pitch upstairs, ball 2 to Tanner Collins. We got Coach Galloway sending in an infield signal to his base runner. That's Blankenship over at first. And a swing and a miss there. Nice fastball from Breck. 2 balls, 1 strike. And an out away from ending this top half of the 4th. We started play at 6:06, and obviously the run rule is in effect here, folks. If you're up 10 after 7, as we get a grounder there deep to third base. Do they get it? Yes! Heck of a throw by Trey Furry, 5-3. He was beyond the foul line on third base, and he gets it to Dan Pruitt. A very nice play from Trey after that infield error a batter ago to get us out of the frame. Anyway, 25-12, 5 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. We'll be back.
I'm attorney Jordan Klinger, partner at McIntyre Law. Before I came to McIntyre Law, I worked for an insurance company that defends cases. That experience provides me insight into how insurance companies operate. That knowledge helps me get the most for our clients. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hardworking Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law and will fight for you.
Pitch hitting for the Bison, number 3, Jonah Mahan.
All right, pinch hitter for the Bison, it's Jonah Mahan. He's going to be in for Jaden Schaefer as he'll take a strike there. Schaefer, as we get another strike for Mahan, he goes he gets 3 innings of action, does Jaden, the second baseman. He walked, he doubled, popped out, and reached on a fielder's choice. Last pitch outside from McCurtain. 1-2 the count for Jonah Mahan. That ball grounded by Mahan. He picked up there at third by Amancio, and that's a 5-3 ground out of Jonah Mahan, who was pinch hitting for Jaden Schaefer in that at-bat to start the bottom of the 4th. 1 up, 1 down there for ECU.
Now batting first baseman, number 28, Dan Pruitt.
Dan Pruitt now into the batter's box. 5-3 ground out right there of Jonah Mahan. Pruitt now into the box. Swing and a miss. Felt like that was going to go out of town. But a miss for Dan regardless. 0-1. Pruitt hitting .362 this season when bases are empty. He's 2 for 4 tonight. He'll swing on that one heading into deep center for shallow center field. That ball hanging high, and it's caught on the run in center field by the guy that replaced Amancio, and that is a change. So that was, let's find him on the Britton Sperry. So Britton Sperry is now moved to center field, folks. That was a straight change, and in you go from Coach Galloway. Now Pruitt out F8. 2 up, 2 down. I don't think we've had 2 up, 2 down in this game yet until now. As we get a pitch outside and in the dirt for Cade Self, who is a double away from hitting the cycle. He tripled in the first, homered, grounded out 6-3, and then singled. An inning ago. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Cade boosting his batting average to .378 now. He started at .364, which is a team high. That pitch outside off the plate. 2-1 for Cade. and a 6.17 slugging mark. He checked in 6th in the GAC in runs batted in. Coming into the game, he was at 41. He's up to 46 now. He's got 5 in this game. Yeah, these RBI totals. Folks, just did a quick search as we get another pitch and a grounder foul by Cade. Last year we drove in 28 runs, or check that, we drove in 24 runs against ECU last year down in Ada. 2 years ago we put up 28 runs driven in against SNU. Then in 2020, as we get a shot, just foul. Man, that was probably going to be a double, folks, for Cade, as that was about a foot outside the left field line, and now a 2-2 count. But back to the RBI update. We had 24 in the 2020 season against Missouri Western, and then in 2019, we put up 19. Let's see where that was at, as we get a grounder back up the middle. Man, that almost hit McCurtain in the thigh right there. It's another hit for Cade. He's now got 5 on the day. It's a single back up the middle. He's now a 4 for 5. Man, oh man. And a nice piece of hitting right there from Cade Self, who's just seeing the ball extremely well tonight. But yeah, 2019, we had 18 RBI against Northwestern Oklahoma State. That was on February 25th of 2019. We'll pull up previous season as we got Schroeder now into the box, and that pitch, I think that was a pass ball. That didn't look pretty. That looked pretty clean from back here. Let's see, team batting. We had 21 runs driven in against Manhattan Christian in 2018. Right. So right now we got to complete this search. OBU's probably close to setting a new D2 single game team record with RBI. 22 against Dallas Christian during the 2017 season, and in 2016 we had 20 against York College. 2-0 pitch, and we call a strike for Schroeder, 2-1. So the Bison are 3 away from tying the D2 single game team record attained against Southern Nazarene of 28 RBI. That was in the 2021 season. The 2-1 pitch hits Schroeder in the back. So Alex been hit a couple of times in this game. Matter of fact, 3 hit by pitches in a game. Man, that's no fun. Especially the way you all saw that home run that he hit to left field that just cleared probably around 400 feet. Anyway, he has reached base in every at-bat. Probably would like to see him a few more balls in the strike zone, but he has reached base as Furry fouls that one off to the right side. Schroeder on second, Self is on second, Schroeder on first. We got a ball thrown back. Oh, check that. They were thinking about going back to first, but Schroeder was back down safely. Just a little bit past the 8 o'clock hour, Clayton Kaufman and Brandon Spencer with you as we get a chopper left side. Amancio picks it up, throws it to second, and gets the fielder's choice 5-4 put out at second to end the frame. All right, the Bison are held scoreless for the first time in this game. No runs on one hit and 2 left on base. We'll go to the 5th. The Bison leading 25-12.
McIntyre, and I'm a trial lawyer. But that was not my original plan. I went to Oklahoma Baptist University, and law school wasn't even on my radar. And then one day it was. Why? Sometimes those with more power than others abuse that power. Instead of doing the right thing because it's the right thing, they do the wrong thing because it's profitable. An innocent victim is victimized again. They feel helpless and voiceless against the multi-billion-dollar insurance company. I saw it happen. I watched a family member suffer as the system left them feeling helpless and voiceless. I am not helpless, and I do have a voice. And for my clients, when the fight comes, the insurance company pulling strings in the shadows doesn't face a powerless victim. They face me. For way too long, insurance companies and major corporations have pushed around hardworking Oklahomans. McIntyre Law pushes back. If you need someone that tries cases and doesn't just settle, call McIntyre Law for a meeting at no cost to you. We are McIntyre Law, and we will fight for you.
All right, Garrett Kellogg Clark is your new pitcher. He's going to replace Brett Galbraith, who goes 4 innings, 11 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, a pair of walks for Brett. And now for Garrett Kellogg Clark, this will be his 12th appearance, which is tied for the team high. No, it is the team high, excuse me. And now this is his 12th. It's the staff high. Garrett with a 7.91 ERA, 19 and a third innings pitch. He'll throw that one in for a ball, just missed though. And the rest of that line, he's got 24 strikeouts to 12 walks, 17 earned runs allowed, and a .325 opponent batting average. That pitch inside at a nice location. No one's getting that. 1-1. We did have a defensive change as well. Jonah Mahan replaces Jaden Schaefer at second base here to start the 5th. The 1-1. Upstairs and away to Whitaker. He doubled in the first, struck out in the second, hit by pitch after that. There's the 2-1. Grounder back up the middle, hits off of the back of the foot of Garrett Kellogg Clark, and that is an unfortunate infield single. 1B1 on the score sheet. And all right, so the 12th hit of the day for ECU comes to Whitaker. That's his second of the night. And now the catcher, Duncan Key, coming up, and he's had a solid game. 3 for 3, including a home run and a single in the first and second frames. There's Kellogg Clark's pitch outside. Had the cereal company in my head right there, folks. I don't know why that came across, but here we are. 1-0 for Duncan Key. Garrett's next pitch up into the air and foul, right wing. And just a wild day in the GAC. Let's go to the stat page here, or the schedule page of the Great American Conference. Again, we're on the last day of March, folks. Hard to believe the spring has really picked up its pace, and we're in the final month of the regular season. Key swings and misses on that one, and it should be a 1-2 count. Yep. Let's check some other scores here. Arkansas Monticello winners today over Southern Nazarene 9-8. As we get a chopper there picked up by Furry to throw to second in time. Are we going to get interference right there as Jonah Mahan gets tripped up? Now, I'm sure the first base runner was not going after Jonah Mahan. Whitaker, he's out 5-4 on the fielder's choice, but Mahan got collided with. Now, he seems to be all right. Man, that was a great throw by Trey Furry. That's now back-to-back really good throws in tough situations. Remember the previous one, Furry was beyond the third base bag and in foul territory as we get a very low pitch right there. Key is going to reach second on the wild pitch. But 1 out, and Trey Furry with a nice throw to Jonah Mahan. That was not an easy play to make on that fielder's choice from Duncan Key. The Bison turn it, and that was a heck of a play by Trey and Jonah. 1-0 the count here for Sperry, the center fielder. And he'll take that pitch away. He replaced Amancio in center field an inning ago. Amancio 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Nicely done right there as Garrett Kellogg Clark hits 90 miles an hour on that fastball. And a nice pitch from Garrett. Okay, so Southeastern Oklahoma State up 9-5 in the 4th inning at Northwestern. And then we get a strike there. Let's look also in action on this 31st. Henderson State is at Harding. And we'll get that score as that's loading right now. It came down in Searcy, Arkansas. There's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Garrett. And we have 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Well, it might be a slight delay in Harding. It's 8 Central, but no stats have been received. Anyway, maybe they had a weather problem. Regardless, Kyle Busker now into the batter's box. He replaced Rosario. We'll get a pitch outside. Let's see here real quick. Oh, Busker moved to right field. I just missed that one. Sorry about that, folks. Thanks, KJ. KJ Reed manning the statistical front tonight. We're a short crew. I don't know, Friday nights. We thought we'd have more students here on a Friday night, but we'll have some more tomorrow. We'll get the multiple cams going and have Todd Miller back on the call. All right, 1-1 the count here for Busker. That ball grounded back up the middle. Parga's on the run, picks it up. The throw to first. Did he get it? Yes, he did. A nice pick from Dan Pruitt. He does that very often, folks, and it's pretty impressive. 6-3 put out of Busker, and that will get us out of the 5th. ECU is held scoreless for the first time in an inning. Still 25-12 Bison. We'll be back.
At SCI Supply, you truly can purchase with purpose. Whether you're a university, a K-12 school, a local nonprofit, a church, or an individual, we have exactly what you're looking for. And 100% of the profit from your purchase stays here to fulfill the mission of providing vocational training, employment opportunities, and residential care to individuals with special need. So remember, how does your purchase make a purpose? By investing in South Central, the official office supply store of OBU Athletics.
Back here on the Bison Sports Network. Clayton Kaufman with you. Troy Shields up to bat, 4 hits and 4 at-bats. He gets another one. That ties to the program's D2 single game record. Jose Parga and Dan Pruitt did that last year. Parga did it against Southern Nazarene, and I believe Dan did as well during that 3-game weekend series. 1-1 the count now for Troy, who's just really, his past week has been outstanding. He's now up to a 386 average. He started the night at 340. Not a bad jump right there if you're Troy. 2-1 the count for Shields. That pitch outside now 3-1. He's got 3 singles and a double. does Shields with 3 runs scored and 5 RBI. The 3-1. And it hit his hand on a swing, and it does hit the bat. Man, that is not a pleasant feeling. He did that a slight turn into the ball, and it hit his. I think it's his left hand. Yeah. Ooh, that is not fun. And Coach Cox and Austin Gonzalez looking at their junior designated hitter / catcher. So, hit by pitch. I thought for a second that's a foul ball, folks, but forgive me. He's reached base, and now we will have Rafael Gutierrez going to pinch run for Shields. No, that's 23 for 33. And Rafael, pretty good movement on the base paths.
Now batting number 16, Jose Parga.
He does have 1 stolen base attempt this season, and you're probably thinking, with the way this game is going, I'm sure the last thing Coach Cox is thinking is we're going for steals up 13 in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch to Jose Parga down low for ball 1. Gutierrez this season, 11 runs scored. Well, I hope Shields is all right. Folks, he's our secondary catcher. You know, tonight Schroeder is the usual starter, but when we get into series, Troy comes in. You would probably imagine you'll see him for game 2 tomorrow, but with that ball that just hit his hand, you wonder where he's going to be at tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Anyway, 2, and the count for Jose Parga. And ball 3, a little bit upstairs. East Central fans not happy with that last call by the umpire, but hey, he's been consistent, you know. That pitch outside. No, it was ball 4, yeah. I think I thought we had a strike up there too, folks, but it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Jose Parga by McCurtain. Austin Gonzalez now into the batter's box. He's 2 for 3 today with 3 runs driven in. Both of those hits are singles. That pitch down Main Street, nicely done right there from McCurtain. 0-1 to Austin. Same location, same call, 0-2. Nice first 2 pitches here from McCurtain to Gonzalez. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, so a 3-pitch out. We haven't seen that all night. And it goes against the Bison's Austin Gonzalez. Isaiah Lasad now going to come in. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Lasad stepping in. He's got 2 hits tonight and 3 at-bats. He'll swing on that one, make it 3 hits and 4 plate appearances. That's going to score 1 run. Parga's going to hustle his tail all the way to third. And Rafael Gutierrez scores as the pinch runner. And it's now 26-12. So the Bison now up to 26 RBI. Two more will tie the D2 single game record attained 2 seasons ago against Southern Nazarene when we put 28 RBI on the board. Or stat sheet, I should say. Here's Jonah Mahan. He'll take that pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Mahan with a ground out. 6-3 in the previous at-bat. A wild pitch right there. Parga's going to go back to third, and that was a wise decision as that ball hit the backstop and came right back to Duncan Key. Lasad does get to second. A scoring opportunity here for Jonah Mahan. this is the first time this season he's had a situation with runners in scoring position. So he's got a 1-1 count on him. We'll see if he can bring a hit here and score a couple. He misses right there. That was the infield was drawn in on that sequence right there. Blankenship came in at second. Rosario at third, but we get a swing and a miss. 1-2 for Jonah Mahan. He'll swing on that one. Grounder, and it goes under the glove of Rosario at third. It's a base hit all the way, but it's also an RBI single for Jonah Mahan. He scores Jose Parga to make it 27-12. Now 27 RBI for the season. And Dan Pruitt up to bat. The big man, as you see him on your screen with Duncan Key calling in a defensive sign. We've got one out here in the bottom of the fifth and one swing of the bat, and we're going to have 30 runs. That ball up into the air, hanging high, going into shallow right field. It's down the line, and it stays fair. It gets past the third or the right fielder. A run scores. It's Isaiah Lasad. I don't know if he lost it in the light, but he over pursued it the whole way. That was the right fielder, Herchuk, I believe, and it went past his head, so he just mistimed it or misread it. Can't call that an error. It's a hit and an RBI. And that's 28 runs and 28 runs driven in, folks. One more RBI and we'll have a D2 single game record. Here's Cade Self. He'll swing on that one. Base hit. It's going into left field. They will hold up Jonah Mahan. Chris Cox slowing down his pinch hitter in that situation is now Cade Self has just tied the OBU D2 single game record with 5 hits. And, I mean, it's not out of the question that he could get 6 if we get through the lineup here. Alex Schroeder now up to bat. .28 runs by OBU. It's the most they've ever scored as Schroeder sends that one deep to center field. That ball going back. That ball off of the wall. Jonah Mahan's going to score. It's going to be a 2-run single for Alex Schroeder. Lord have mercy. And it's now 30-12. So today in Great American Conference action, Southwestern Oklahoma State scored 30, and we've scored 30 tonight against East Central. Sweet Moses. What is happening here tonight, folks, is just an amazing offensive performance. And man, oh man, we got to play 2 tomorrow. Well, Bison with 30 runs, and Furry fouls that one off to the right side. 0-1. Okay. We got to give a stats update here. Cade Self with 5 hits and 6 at-bats. He gets 1 more hit and 3 more RBI. Those are D2 single-game records as Furry swings and misses there. Okay, Cade, 5 for 6, 6 RBI. Troy Shields, 4 for 4, 5 RBI. Isaiah Lasad, 3 for 4. Pruitt, 3 for 6. Schroeder, 2 for 2, which includes him reaching base 2 other times with hit-by pitches. Furry swings on that one. It's going to be a 4-6-3 double play, and that will get us out of the 5th inning. The Bison score 5 runs in this frame to make the score 30-12. We'll take a timeout. Bison in control.
Breeze to you at the top of the 5th. 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Grow your savings with the one you trust. Tinker Federal Credit Union. Visit tinkermcu.org to learn more. Now batting number 5, Michael Rosario.
All right, the third baseman, Michael Rosario, the senior from Katy, Texas, will step in. He's got 1 hit and 3 at-bats with 2 runs driven in tonight. A pitch from Kellogg Clark, a little bit low. Not a bad spot, though. 1-0 the count. And we'll have a doubleheader tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Pitch inside, a little bit high, 2-0 now. Schroeder gets the sign from the coaches, and we get a foul ball over the press box. We had some other action in the GAC. We're going to try to. Maybe some links are down, some live stat page and video links are down, but we'll check the scores later tonight. We'll try to get them as time allows. 2-2 now for Rosario. We're in the 6th inning, 30-12 OBU. They've already set a new D2 single game team record with 30 runs driven in. Foul ball there from Rosario, right side. In the previous high, 2 years ago against Southern Nazarene, we scored 28. We've got 30 tonight on 23 hits. Man, oh man. You do have some sympathy too, folks. You know, we try to, we cheer for the green and gold, but, you wouldn't wish this on your worst enemy as Rosario swings and misses on a breaking ball from Garrett. A strikeout there from Kellogg Clark, his second. And we've got one away here in the 6th.
Now batting number 18, Mason Glowacki.
All right, Glowacki now up to the batter's box. And we'll get a strike called on the outside. He's got 3 at-bats, 2 hits for Mason Glowacki, the shortstop. He's from British Columbia, Canada. Some pretty nature up there, folks. Wouldn't mind going hiking up there as we get a check swing and a foul ball right side. 0-2. Having some fun in the press box here, folks, as we're, just one of those nights as we get a chopper foul. Not much to talk about. You gotta find some stuff to fill when games are going like this, and we do have a new school record, D2 school record. In fact, that would be one thing, folks. Obviously, we'd like to have complete single game records from the NAIA days, but it's just how the we're not in lower level as we get a grounder there left side. There's Jose Parga at short. The throw to first easily made to Dan Pruitt. 6-3 ground out, 2 down. But yeah, there's there's more of an emphasis on this kind of stuff, at least in my time in athletic communications, where all the stats are being accumulated, and you're not trying to track down box scores from the 90s. It's something unfortunate, but we can give you stuff that has happened in the D2 realm, and we're happy to do that. Pitch down low as we've got Cooper Hunt back at the top of the order, up to the batter's box. He's 2 for 3 today with 2 runs driven in. Give ECU credit, folks. Obviously, they got down 16-6 as we get a liner picked up there by Parga, deep in the gap to throw to first. Did they get it in time? Yes, they said so. That was awfully close. And Cooper Hunt not liking the call. 6-3 put out, 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th and come back right after this.
Estate planning is a crucial step in protecting your family's future. With an estate plan, you can decide how to distribute your assets, make healthcare decisions, and support ministries after you pass away. It involves some pretty big decisions. But with guidance from Water's Edge, you can plan for your children's future, give to Kingdom causes, and get expert help along the way. Build a solid foundation for your family. Start your estate plan today. Visit watersedgeservices.org.
Now batting number 23, Rafael Gutierrez.
All right, back here as we start the bottom of the sixth, Rafael Gutierrez is going to get this at bat as he fills in for Troy Shields, who got hit by that pitch then a frame ago. Shields tonight, 4 for 4 with 5 runs driven in, and he scored 3 runs. And Troy, just these last 2 games, he had 2 home runs the other day, folks, against Southeastern Oklahoma State. He started, I believe that was the 3rd inning, with a home run to center, and he came back with a shot to right center, I believe, against the Savage Storm. And now OBU, folks, we'll compile his statistics, and we'll have some info for Todd Miller to read to you guys tomorrow on just what has gone on these last 5 games. And I know the Bison were swept at Southern Arkansas, but those were 3 close games against, right now, the 2nd place team in the conference. And here, bottom of the 6th, 23 runs. Or 23 hits, 30 runs, 30 RBI. That's crazy, folks. So Gutierrez standing in, swings on that one inside, and a strikeout swinging. 1 down. And Brandon Brewer now is going to get a pinch hit. So Gutierrez was in for Shields, and now Brandon Brewer is going to come in, and that will be a defensive change. It should, at least, in the top of the 7th. You might see Brewer go to short because Mahan moved to second. We'll see if Brandon Brewer moves to short in place of Jose Parga. Pitch to Brandon, outside corner for a strike, and our video board just went off, which means maybe it's getting tired of being worked too, folks, you know. So. Hey, folks, if you've watched our streams this year as we get a pitch or a foul ball by Brewer, 0-2, over this past summer, man, hard to believe we're almost through the academic year, but last July, folks, our athletic director, Robert Davenport, we were able to purchase a NewTek TriCaster, which is what all the major Division I schools use, and there's multiple versions of these things, but we got a basic one, and these last 7 months or so working, we've tried to really amp up the streams, and obviously we've got some good stuff as we get a strikeout looking for Brandon Brewer. I'm not sure that was over the plate, but it's the second out regardless. We've really amped up our efforts here in the communications office as we have another pinch hitter. It's going to be number 35, Jackson Job.
Now batting, pitch hitting, number 35, Jackson Job.
We'll see if Jackson can get a hit here. This is his first at-bat of the season. The way these games go, you just don't see Jackson often. But, hey, here we are tonight, and we'll see if he can get something here. Swing and a miss, a late swing right there from the sophomore from Flower Mound, Texas. He attended Covenant Christian Academy. Last year did not see any playing time, so This is his first game played this season, and obviously the right call made by our coaching staff to get him in. And, hey, we'll see. It's an 0-1 count right now. Here's the next pitch. Inside, a little bit low. 1-1. Do have Isaiah Lasad warming up the bat, but there's two down here in the bottom of the sixth, and I think Coach Cox is content with getting all of his players some time in this game. Boy, that pitch, I'm not sure. We've got some delay in the pitching here from McCurtain. There's a new pitch clock that has really sped the time up in these games, folks. Usually we're sitting around 3 hours minimum, but this pitch clock that has come into play, it's 20 seconds. It's really sped things up, and I mean the majority of our games this year have been around that 2.5 hour mark. I mean that saves some time as we get a pitch behind Jackson. Are they going to call him a hit by pitch? I didn't think it hit him, but the umpire said it did, and he's going to get the first base. So Jackson Jobe gets an at-bat, and he gets a base. Now I have Isaiah Lasad into the box. He's 3 for 4 today with 3 runs driven in. He also has 2 walks. He's been walked twice. That ball by McCurtain thrown back to first. As we mentioned a few moments ago, Jackson Jobe hadn't had a at-bat this game or this season, and we've got McCurtain going back to first base as we get a check swing and a foul ball from Isaiah. 0-1. I don't think Jackson's going to be trying to steal here, but you never know. Again, tomorrow, folks, we'll have a 1 o'clock doubleheader. We'll get the pregame going with Todd Miller around 12:45. So get some lunch and have a pleasant morning, and then we'll have some doubleheader baseball action for you as we get a ball downstairs to Isaiah. 1-1. All right, McCurtain waiting. Here's the pitch. Outside corner. Called strike to Lasad. 1-2. A strike away from getting us to the 7th frame. One and two for Lasad, who's 3 for 4 tonight. Just an offensive showcase for the Bison, as I think we all expected. Swing and a miss, Lasad. I think maybe we just wanted to get out of the inning, possibly. All right, that is a strikeout for Isaiah. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. We're 3 outs away from ending this game, and then we'll get some post-game commentary from Brandon Spencer and Coach Cox and a player. We'll be back in just a second.
Now pitching, number 27, Diego Chavez.
All right, a couple of defensive changes for OBU. Actually, it's just one. Brandon Brewer is going to go to shortstop now for Jose Parga as we get this top of the 7th underway. So here's how it stands. If you're up 10 after 7, the ball game is over. So ECU, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. They have put up multiple runs in the 1st, 2nd, and 4th frames, but they have been held scoreless the last 2. They're going to need 9 runs here in the top of the 7th to keep the game going. We do have a new pitcher. It's Diego Chavez. This is only his 5th appearance. He's tossed 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, 12 earned runs. Opponent's hitting .444 in his ERA we won't mention, but hey, this is a prime opportunity to get in there and get this out, these 3 outs to end the game. Oh, hey, we'll set the defense here for you folks. Chavez pitching, Schroeder catching, and then around first, Pruitt, Mahan is at second, Brewer at short, and Furry at third. I think that's Austin. I still think that's Austin Gonzalez in left field. Cade is in right. That's Cade Self, excuse me, and Isaiah Lasad is in first. We'll try to keep our eye out. We do have to make those changes in the stat program, but I still think that's Austin Gonzalez out in left. He's a left-armed, yeah. And Diego Chavez, his first batter, Blankenship, gets hit in the back, and that's a hit by pitch.
Now batting number 10, Tanner Collins.
And here's Tanner Collins, a designated hitter from Dale, Oklahoma, stepping in. Here's Diego's pitch, outside corner, called strike on Tanner Collins, 5'9" infielder. He's got 3 plate appearances today, no hits, does have a sac fly to right field, and he struck out twice. Grounder left side and fouled again, 0-2. Okay, so we thought it was Gonzalez in left. It's actually Gabe Irwin, one of the newcomers for the Bison. Been pretty good for OBU this season, and he's out in left field now, replacing Austin Gonzalez, who had a fine night. A lot of players did well tonight. As we got a chopper, there's Pruitt, picks it up at first. The throw to second is in time, and it turns into a fielder's choice, 1-6 right there for the second out. Or check that, pardon me, first out. Sorry about that, folks. And so it's a 1-6 put out on the fielder's choice. Collins is on first base with 1 out. Pitch inside from Chavez, nicely done, 0-1. If the Bison are able to close this one out, which you would imagine they will, it's going to be Garrett Kellogg-Clark getting the win. He'll move to 3-0. If you're a starter, you have to go a minimum amount of innings, and Breck went. Let's double check that real quick. Galbraith went 4. Got to go 5. 1-1 the count, but that's all right. Hey, the way the offense played tonight, I know Breck is going to want to come back next weekend and do better as we get a shot right there from Whitaker into left field. That's going to be a single. Irwin throws it to the cutoff man, Brandon Brewer. And we've got a single to left field.
Now batting number 11, Duncan Key.
That's Collins' first hit of the night. Duncan Key. Or check that. Well, hold on a second. Pardon me, that was Whitaker's hit. So, freshen up. Collins, reached on that fielder's choice. And we get a single right there. Now another hit coming into center field. Lasad's tracking that down, and it goes behind him. Runners are going to advance. So that is going to be a single and an error on Isaiah Lasad. So it's a hit up the middle. It's the 13th run of the game. Duncan Key gets it, so he singles up the middle, and then Lasad, you got to make that. I mean, it was a grounder. The ball's in the dirt. You got to pick that, or in the grass. You got to pick that up. 30-13 your score now. 1 out, and the pitch right there to Sperry, ball 1. Now a bunt showed right there by Sperry, and he pulls back ball. 1-0 the count. That pitch swung on, heading into left field. There's Irwin, and oh man, it took a weird. I thought he was going to get it out. He's not. 2 runs are going to score. I couldn't tell, folks, if that hit his leg or what. I think you're just going to have to give that a hit. He was chasing it the whole way, but it'll be 2 more runs across now. 30-15 the count. You got a runner on second base. And now up to bat is Kyle Busker, the junior from Laven, Texas. So we get a 2-run double to left field by Sperry. That's his first hit of the night. And we've got, is that ball 1, I think? Okay, 1-0 here. Now 2-0 the count for Busker. So hey, ECU giving them credit here, folks. They've battled on the offensive end, and obviously not the night the OBU pitching staff wanted to have, as we get a check swing across the plate, 2-1 for Busker. The 2-1. Curve. Oh, well, it's called strike 3, so we were behind in the count there, folks. Sorry about that. 2 away here in the top of the 7th, and 1 more out to go, and this game will be all over. We're going to send Brandon Spencer down to the field as Michael Rosario, the senior from Katy, Texas, will step in. 30-15 the tally. Pitch high and upstairs from Chavez. 1-0 the count. Rosario 1 for 4 tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Little chopper down the third base line and foul. Nicely done by Trey Furry right there. As he was very close to picking it up, and he did the wise thing and let it go foul. 1-1. I mean, 1-1 the count. Rosario. A little bit upstairs there from Chavez. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Now 2-2. A strike away from ending this game. The 2-2. That was a wild pitch, and that's going to advance the runner on second base. Sperry is to third. We've got a 3-2 count now with 2 away. So that one hopped in the dirt in front of Schroeder. Diego still a strike away from ending this game. We're almost to the 9 o'clock hour as the umpires are going to switch baseballs for Chavez. Here's the 3-2. Upstairs, and that is a full count walk. That's going to put runners on first and second.
Now batting number 18, Mason Glowacki.
And we're at the bottom of the order. Glowacki up to bat. He's 2 for 4 tonight. At the bottom of the order, he's grounded out twice. A couple of hits, as we said, and 1 run driven in. Check that 1 run scored, pardon me. Runner going, ball thrown down to second base. Did they get him? called safe as, well, it was a stolen base. I thought that ball hit into the glove of Mahan. But it did not reach it. It was just off of him. So we get a ball there. Now Chavez puts that one up into right field. Self is on the run. Sliding catch. Did he get it? No, he did not. It's going to be a double to right field, and 2 runs come across for ECU. Still stuck on 2 outs, so it's now 30-17. So Milwaukee extends that into a double. He's now 3 for 5 tonight. That's tied or second on the team behind Duncan Key's 4 hits. So a little something here for ECU. And Chavez throws a strike there to Hunt, who's 2 for 4 tonight. There's the 0-1. Down in the dirt. One ball, 1 strike for Hunt as ECU trying to keep this game going. Downstairs again. 2-1. Hunt tonight popped out in the first, singled in the second, hit by pitch in the third. He's going to foul that one off. 2-2 now the count, a strike away from ending the game. Chavez looking back at second base. There's the 2-2. High and upstairs, high and out wide, pardon me. Full count again. And that before for a Milwaukee, and he got his 3rd hit of the night. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. The Bison win 30-17, and we will get Brandon Spencer down on the field in just a second. We'll take a timeout, but the Bison are winners tonight. They moved to 16-14 overall, 9-10 in conference play. For ECU, they're 6-26 and 1-18 in conference play. We'll take a timeout, and we will go down to the field in just a second with Brandon Spencer, who's going to catch up with Chris Cox and I believe Troy Shields. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll come back in just a second, folks.
At 1 p.m., we hope to see you then on a safe trip home. And go Bison!
Spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it.
Let's go.
New York, New York. These vagabond shoes.
All right, we're going to go down to the field now with Brandon Spencer, who's with the head coach Chris Cox after tonight's 30-17 win.
All right, Coach Cox, offensively, it was a great game at the plate. What was the attitude going into the game?
You know, I would think it would like I talked to Clayton earlier about us building off about the past week and a half, the approach and the quality ABs we've been having. I thought the guys did a good job of that tonight, for sure.
And defensively, it was a little slow to start the game. What do you think you guys can improve on to going into the doubleheader tomorrow?
Absolutely. We've got to be a lot better there. You can't give that many free bases away and expect to be very successful. So tomorrow, we're going to have to come out and bring the leather because tonight it just wasn't there.
And for the doubleheader tomorrow, what are you guys looking forward to doing? What do you guys, what's your mindset going into that game?
Yeah, you got to set the tone on the mound early tomorrow. You know, tomorrow's going to be a different day. Wind's going to turn around, going to blow in, so you got to go set the tone on the mound and score in different ways tomorrow. So you got to bring energy, a doubleheader tomorrow, and come out from the jump with a lot of energy.
All All right, thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks, Brandon. We're going to take a quick timeout. Brandon's going to go get Troy Shields, our designated hitter tonight, and we'll be back right after this with Troy Shields. All right, we'll go back down to the field now. Brandon's with designated hitter Troy Shields.
Now, Troy, you had a great game at bat today. What was your attitude going into the box?
I mean, I struggled against this team earlier when we played them, so kind of watched some film and got adjusted to it. And, you know, I made the right adjustments today, but, I mean, there's still things to work on. I think the whole team, I mean, obviously made adjustments, putting up 30 runs, and we just got to keep doing it.
Yeah. Now, with multiple offensive games that were going great for you guys, what is the key for you guys when you're going up at bat?
I mean, one thing we've been working on is just having great approaches when it comes to the games. We kind of got a little selfish earlier in the year, but I think this team's worked really hard to, you know, get the better at-bats out of it. And the last about a week has been the best at-bats we've taken, so we're just looking on to keeping that going.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That was Troy Shields, the designated hitter. Thanks, Brandon, for the interviews tonight and for your work on the stream. We will come back and look at final stats here now. You can... The Bison winners tonight by a 30-17 mark. Let's go ahead and look at quick final stats for the Bison. All right, hit-wise, Cade Self goes 5 for 6 with 6 runs driven in. Shields, 4 for 4, 5 runs driven in. Isaiah Lasad, 3 for 5, 3 RBI. Dan Pruitt, 3 for 6. He also got 3 RBI. Alex Schroeder goes 2 hits and 2 at-bats. He also got hit by pitch twice. Alex scores 4 runs and drives in 3, and then as well, Austin Gonzalez and Jaden Schaefer drive in 3 runs apiece. Gonzalez had 2 hits. Schaefer had 1. Getting the win tonight on the mound is going to be Garrett Kellogg-Clark. Again, the starting pitcher, Breck Galbraith was the starting pitcher. He goes 4 innings pitched, 12 runs allowed, 7 of those were earned, 4 strikeouts. And for Garrett Kellogg-Clark, he goes 2 innings, gets 2 strikeouts, and only allows a hit. In relief, Diego Chavez came in for that final inning, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and struck out 2. Again, your final tonight, 30-17 Bison over ECU. The team will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're going to have that doubleheader for you. That'll be Todd Miller on the call. And folks, again, we appreciate you your viewership. Tonight's game, just about 3 hours, and the Bison win 30-17. We're going to wrap it up from Shawnee tonight. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and we will see you tomorrow.